There is a moment every single morning before your feet touched the floor, before the phone lights up with everything waiting for you, when you have no idea what the day actually holds. You don't know which door will open and which one will close. You don't know who will call, what news will come, or what decision you'll be forced to make before the sun goes down. And in that quiet, uncertain space, God says something that changes everything. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed. Before you plan a single hour of today, He has already walked through it. Before we go any further, if these words are stirring something in you, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Faith Over Pain so prayers like this can keep reaching you. And right now, in the comments, simply write, "God goes before me," not as a slogan, but as an act of faith, a declaration you're making before the day even begins. That promise comes from Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8, spoken to a man named Joshua right before he had to lead an entire nation into a future he couldn't see. He didn't have a map. He didn't have certainty. What he had was a God who told him plainly that He was already ahead of him on the road. That's not a poetic thought. That's a real, active promise for anyone who doesn't know what today will bring. And that includes you, right now, wherever you're listening from. So let's bring this morning to Him honestly. Lord, I don't know everything that today is going to ask of me, but You do. Before I made my first decision this morning, You had already gone ahead of every hour I'm about to walk through. I don't want to rush into this day relying only on my own strength or my own guessing. I want to walk into it knowing You are already there, already present in the meeting I haven't had yet, already present in the conversation I'm dreading, already present in the silence I don't understand. I bring You my uncertainty because I don't have to pretend it isn't there. You already see it. You see the decision I keep putting off. You see the place I have to go today that makes my stomach tighten. You see the person I have to face, the news I'm waiting for, the question I don't have an answer to yet. And instead of trying to control all of it myself, I'm laying it in Your hands this morning because You are not surprised by any of it. Go before me today, Lord. Not beside me only, but ahead of me, clearing what needs to be cleared, softening what needs to be softened, and closing what was never meant to be mine to walk through. Let me trust that the road You've already seen is safer in Your hands than in my own understanding. There's something in Your word that says, You will not leave me or forsake me. And I need that today, not as a distant idea, but as something real I can hold on to when I feel like I'm walking into the unknown alone. That word, He goes before you, is not describing a God who watches from a distance. It's describing a God who moves first. When you think about entering a place you've never been, whether it's a new job on your first day, an interview that could change your future, an appointment you've been avoiding, or even just an ordinary errand in an unfamiliar part of town, there's a quiet unease that comes with not knowing what you'll find there. Will people be kind? Will things go wrong? Will you be prepared for what's asked of you? Scripture doesn't erase that unease by pretending it isn't real. It answers it by placing God there before you even arrive. Think about what it means for someone to walk ahead of you into a room you're afraid to enter. That's not a small comfort. That's the difference between facing the unknown blind and facing it with someone who already knows the layout, who already knows what's waiting, who has already secured the path. That's what this verse is describing about God's relationship to your day. He isn't reacting to what happens to you. He's already there before it happens. So bring Him the actual places you're walking into today. Lord, you already know every room I'll enter today before I open the door. You already know the office, the clinic, the classroom, the highway, the unfamiliar street, the new city, whatever it is I have to face today that feels unfamiliar or uncertain. I'm asking you to go there first. Prepare the people I'll meet. Soften the situations that could turn difficult. Let me walk in and sense that you've already been present in that space, arranging what I couldn't arrange myself. If I'm walking into somewhere new today, calm the part of me that wants to control every outcome before it happens. Help me remember that unfamiliar doesn't mean unprotected, and new doesn't mean unaccompanied. You are already familiar with what is unfamiliar to me. For the person listening who has to walk into somewhere hard today, whether that's a hospital room, a courtroom, a job they're not sure they can handle, or simply back into a home filled with tension, let them feel you've gone ahead of them into that space too. Let them walk in with less fear than they woke up with, because they know they are not walking in first. You already are. There's another kind of unknown that isn't about a place, but about a decision. Proverbs chapter 3 gives us words that so many people know by memory, but so few actually live by. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make your paths straight. That word lean is important. It's not saying don't think, don't plan, don't use wisdom. It's saying don't make your own understanding the final authority when you don't have the full picture, and none of us ever do. Maybe today isn't about walking into an unfamiliar place. Maybe it's about a decision sitting heavy in your chest, one you've turned over so many times you're tired of thinking about it. Which job to take, whether to stay or whether to go. What to say to someone who hurt you, whether now is the right time or the wrong time. Your own understanding can only take you so far, because your own understanding doesn't know what tomorrow holds. His does. God, there's a decision I've been carrying, and I'm tired of trying to solve it with nothing but my own reasoning. I don't want to lean fully on what I think is smart or safe or comfortable, because those things have been wrong before. I want to acknowledge you in this decision the way your word says to, honestly, humbly. Before I move another step forward, straighten the path in front of me where my own thinking has made it crooked. Where I've been overanalyzing, quiet my mind. Where I've been afraid to choose wrong, remind me that you are able to redirect me even after a mistake. I don't need a guarantee of the future to trust you with this decision. I just need to know you're the one making the path straight, not me. For anyone listening who has been stuck between two choices for weeks or months or longer, let this be the moment they stop trying to force clarity through their own strength and instead surrender the decision honestly to you, trusting that you see what they can't. There's a story behind this promise that makes it even more personal. When God spoke these words to Joshua, Joshua wasn't stepping into an easy season. He was about to lead people into land they had never lived in, filled with challenges they had never faced. Right after the man who had led them for 40 years was gone, Moses was no longer there to guide him. And in that exact moment of transition, God didn't tell Joshua to figure it out on his own. He told him plainly, "I go before you." Think about how much fear must have been sitting in Joshua's chest. New responsibility, no more Moses to lean on, an unfamiliar land ahead. And still, God's answer wasn't a strategy. It was His presence. Maybe you're in a Joshua season right now. Maybe someone who used to guide you, whether a parent, a mentor, a friend, or even a version of your own life that used to feel more certain, isn't there to lean on anymore. Maybe you're the one who has to lead now, in your family, in your work, in your own decisions, and it feels like too much weight for you to carry. Lord, I feel like Joshua some days, standing at the edge of something new without the person or the certainty I used to lean on. I don't have Moses. I don't have the version of my life that used to feel steady. What I have is your promise that you go before the ones who feel unprepared to lead. I don't have to have it all figured out before I take today's first step. I don't have to feel ready in order to be led by you. Give me the same assurance you gave Joshua, that even in unfamiliar territory, even after loss, even without the guide I used to have, you are already present in what's ahead of me. Let me lead where I have to lead today, whether that's my family, my own healing, my own responsibilities, without pretending I have to do it with nothing but my own strength. You go before me the same way you went before him. Psalm 121 gives us a promise that stretches beyond just today. The Lord will keep your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. That's not only about the big unknown moments. That's about the ordinary rhythm of your life, leaving your home this morning and returning to it tonight, leaving a relationship and coming back into it, leaving a season of pain and eventually coming back into peace. God is present in both directions, the leaving and the returning. So many people only ask for protection over the big, dramatic moments and forget that God is just as present in the small, repeated movements of an ordinary day. The drive to work, the walk into a building, the return home after a long shift, the simple coming and going that makes up most of a life. Watch over my going out today, Lord, and watch over my coming back in. Watch over the roads I travel, the people I pass, the decisions I make while I'm out there in the middle of an ordinary day that feels anything but ordinary to me. Protect my body, my mind, and my spirit while I'm away from the safety of home. And when I come back tonight, let me come back whole. Let me come back with less weight than I carried out this morning, not more. Protect my home while I'm away from it, and protect the people inside it who I love and can't watch over every hour of the day. For the parent listening who has to leave their children today, whether at school, with someone else, or simply asleep while they head out for work, cover their going and their coming. For the person traveling long distances today, on a highway, in the air, on a train, be present in the leaving, and be present in the arriving. Let this not be a promise only for dramatic danger, but for the ordinary movement of an ordinary life that still needs your covering. There's a fear so many people carry that they rarely say out loud. The fear of making a mistake they can't undo, saying the wrong thing in a meeting that costs them an opportunity, choosing the wrong path and having to live with years of consequence, missing a chance that won't come back around. That fear can quietly control an entire day without anyone ever naming it. I want to bring that fear honestly before you right now. God, I'm afraid of getting something wrong today. I'm afraid of a mistake I can't take back, a door that closes because of something I said or didn't say, a moment I can't undo. That fear has been shaping how I move through my days, making me hesitant, making me overthink, making me smaller than you created me to be. I don't want to live paralyzed by the fear of failure. I want to walk today trusting that even if I stumble, even if I say the wrong thing or choose imperfectly, you are still able to work through it. My mistakes are not bigger than your grace, and a wrong turn today doesn't put me outside of your reach. Take the fear of rejection out of my hands too. If someone says no to me today, if a door closes, if I'm overlooked or dismissed, let me remember that your plan was never dependent on every single person saying yes to me. Redirect me gently instead of letting me spiral into shame over what didn't work out. For anyone who has been avoiding a decision simply because they're terrified of choosing wrong, let this be the moment they remember that God's presence covers their imperfect choices too. Not only their perfect ones. There's a particular ache that comes from trusting God with something before and watching it fall apart anyway. Maybe you prayed over a job that didn't work out. Maybe you believed for a relationship that ended. Maybe you stepped toward something with real hope and walked away disappointed. And now some quiet part of you is guarded against hoping too fully again, just in case today ends the same way. Lord, I have to be honest with you about the disappointment I'm still carrying. There was a time I trusted you with something, and it didn't go the way I hoped. I don't say that to accuse you. I say it because I know you already see the guardedness it left in me, the small hesitation I feel every time I try to hope for something new. Heal the part of me that flinches before it hopes. I don't want to walk through today bracing for another letdown before anything has even happened. Teach me the difference between a door you closed for my protection and a door that simply hasn't opened yet on your timing. I don't want to confuse the two and give up on something you're still working toward. Restore in me the kind of hope that isn't reckless, but isn't fearful either. Let me trust you again today. Not because I have proof that this outcome will be different, but because you have never stopped being trustworthy, even in the seasons when my circumstances didn't feel like it. For anyone's name, for anyone listening who has been quietly protecting their heart from hope, because the last time they believed for something it hurt, let this be the day they hand that guardedness to you instead of carrying it alone. You are not the God who let them down. You are the God who is still writing what comes next. There's a kind of protection that doesn't get talked about as often, protection over the mind. Isaiah 41 verse 10 says, Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That word dismayed describes something deeper than ordinary worry. It describes the kind of anxious, scattered fear that makes it hard to think clearly. The kind that shows up in the middle of the night or in the quiet moments when nobody else is watching. If your mind has felt scattered lately, racing through worst-case scenarios, replaying conversations, worrying about things that haven't even happened yet, that verse is speaking directly into that exhaustion. God isn't only offering physical protection. He's offering to strengthen the very mind that feels like it's carrying too much. Lord, my mind has been tired in a way that sleep doesn't seem to fix. I've been carrying thoughts that spin without resolution, worries that repeat themselves without ever reaching an answer. I bring that exhaustion to you, honestly, instead of pretending my mind is more at peace than it actually is. Strengthen me where I feel weak in my thinking. Help me where anxious thoughts keep circling back, no matter how many times I try to push them away. Uphold me the way your word says you will, not because I've earned it, but because you promised it to anyone who is willing to bring their fear honestly to you instead of hiding it. Quiet the dismay in me. Replace the racing thoughts with a steadiness that only comes from knowing you are near, not far off, not distracted by someone else's need, but present with me in this exact moment of mental exhaustion. For the person listening whose mind has felt like a battlefield lately, whether from grief, from anxiety, from overthinking every relationship and every decision, let this prayer become the moment their thoughts start to settle. Not because the situation has changed yet, but because they've remembered who is holding them steady inside of it. It isn't only the mind that grows tired. The body carries today's weight too, whether that's the exhaustion of a job that demands more than 8 hours can hold, the ache of a health concern you've been quietly managing, or simply the wear of too many days in a row without enough rest. It's easy to push through physical tiredness as though it doesn't matter, but you never treated the body as separate from the rest of a person's need for care. Father, I bring you my body this morning too. Not just my thoughts and my decisions. If there's tiredness in me that sleep hasn't touched, restore it in a way rest alone can't reach. If there's a physical struggle I've been quietly carrying, whether it's pain, illness, or simply exhaustion built up over weeks, I'm not hiding it from you this morning. Strengthen me for whatever today physically demands, whether that's long hours on my feet, a body that hasn't felt like its own lately, or simply the energy it takes to show up fully for the people who need me. I don't want to move through today running on empty and calling it normal. Where I need healing, begin it, even if it comes slowly. Where I need endurance, provide it, even if the day is longer than I want it to be. Let me care for the body you gave me the same way I'm learning to bring you, my mind and my heart, honestly, and without pretending it doesn't need attention too. For anyone listening who has been physically running on fumes, working through pain, or carrying a health concern they haven't fully voiced to anyone, let today bring a measure of strength that didn't come from anywhere but you. There's a kind of prayer that isn't about asking God to open something, but asking Him to close something. Not every open door is meant for you, and not every path available to you is a path He wants you walking. Discernment matters just as much as courage. Sometimes the most faithful prayer isn't asking for more options. It's asking God to remove the ones that were never His will in the first place. God, I don't want to walk towards something today just because it's available to me. I want to walk toward what You've actually placed in front of me. If there's a path today that looks appealing but leads away from where You're taking me, close it before I waste my time or my heart chasing it. Give me the discernment to recognize when something isn't meant for me, even when it's tempting, even when it seems easier, even when everyone around me seems to be choosing it. I don't want open doors that lead me further from You. I want the ones that lead me deeper into Your will, even if they're narrower, even if they're harder. If I've been holding on to something today that You've already been trying to close, help me release my grip on it instead of forcing it to stay open through my own effort. Sometimes the thing standing between you and a clear path isn't a decision at all. It's something you're still carrying against another person. An unresolved argument, a wound someone left that never got acknowledged, a grudge that quietly colors how you see everything else today. It's hard to walk forward with an open hand when part of that hand is still clenched around an old hurt. God, before I move any further into today, I want to bring You what I've been holding against someone. I don't want to pretend it isn't there, and I don't want to pretend it's small when it's actually still heavy. You know the name attached to it. You know the words that were said, or the ones that never came. I'm not asking You to erase what happened or to pretend it didn't hurt. I'm asking You to help me release my grip on it so it stops shaping the way I carry myself through today. Forgiveness doesn't mean what they did was right. It means I'm choosing not to let it keep governing me. Help me forgive the way You've forgiven me. Not because I've earned release from every mistake I've ever made, but because grace was given to me first. Let today be a day I walk lighter, not because the situation is resolved, but because I stopped letting it hold my heart hostage. For anyone who has been praying for direction while quietly holding on to resentment toward someone who hurt them, let this be the moment they realize the two are connected, and let them find the freedom to release what they've been carrying so they can receive what you're trying to give them. There's a promise woven through all of this that deserves its own moment, the promise that He will not leave you or forsake you. That's different from simply saying He will help you. It's saying He won't withdraw from you, not when you fail, not when you're slow to trust Him, not when the day goes sideways in ways you didn't expect. So many people quietly believe that God's presence depends on their performance, that if they mess up enough, pray too little, or struggle too visibly, He'll step back. That's not what this promise says. It says He will not leave or forsake, full stop, without conditions attached to your good behavior. Lord, I don't want to live today believing Your presence depends on how well I hold everything together. I want to believe what Your word actually says, that You will not leave me, not when I'm anxious, not when I fail, not when I doubt, not when today doesn't go the way I hoped it would. If I mess up today, stay. If I say the wrong thing, stay. If my faith feels small in the middle of a hard moment, stay anyway. Because that's what you promised. Not a conditional presence, but a faithful one. Let me walk today, less afraid of disappointing you, and more confident that you are near, regardless of how today unfolds. That confidence isn't arrogance. It's simply trusting your own words back to you. While you're out facing your own version of today, there's likely someone else on your mind too. A child at school, a spouse heading into their own hard day, an aging parent home alone, a family member you can't be physically present with, but never stop worrying about. Presence isn't only something you need for yourself. It's something you're desperate for on behalf of the people you love. Lord, while I'm out today, be with the people I can't be with myself. Be present with my children in every classroom, every hallway, every moment I'm not there to see. Be present with the people I love who are walking through their own hard mornings right now. Ones I may not even know the full weight of yet. Watch over my home while I'm away from it. Let it be a place of safety and peace, whether I'm standing in it or not. And watch over the relationships inside it, the ones that need patience today, the ones that need healing, the ones that are stretched thin from stress that has nothing to do with love running out, but everything to do with everyone being tired. I can't be everywhere my family needs me to be today, but you can. So I'm placing them in your hands the same way I placed myself there this morning, trusting that your presence isn't divided between us, but fully with each of us at once. For the parent worried about a child they had to drop off this morning, for the person whose spouse is walking into a hard day of their own, for anyone carrying the weight of loved ones they can't watch over personally, let this prayer become the assurance that God's presence isn't limited to one person at a time. Provision is another quiet worry that follows so many people into their day. Whether there will be enough, whether the bills will be covered, whether the work will hold, whether the resources will stretch as far as they need to. It's not always spoken aloud, but it sits underneath a lot of the tension people carry from morning to night. God, I bring my concerns about provision honestly to you. I don't want to pretend I'm not thinking about it, because you already know it's there. Whether it's the ability to cover what's due, the stability of the work I depend on, or simply having enough peace to get through today without that pressure consuming me, I'm laying it in your hands. Provide not only for what I need materially, but for what I need to face today with a steady heart instead of a fearful one. Let me trust you with what I cannot control, and let me be faithful with what I can. For the person carrying financial pressure into today, whether it's a bill they're not sure how to cover, or simply the tiredness of stretching too little too far, let them feel a peace today that isn't dependent on the number in their account, but on the God who has provided before and is still present now. For some of you listening, today isn't just an ordinary day, it's an interview you've been preparing for. It's a presentation you've been dreading. It's a meeting where something important gets decided, and you've been running through every possible outcome in your head since before you even got out of bed. God, If today holds a moment where I need favor, whether that's an interview, a conversation with someone who has authority over an opportunity I care about, or a decision being made about my future that's out of my hands, I'm asking you to go into that room before I do. Let me walk in prepared, but let me also walk in trusting that the outcome doesn't rest entirely on my performance. Give me clarity when I need to speak and steadiness when I feel nervous. If this is the opportunity you have for me, let nothing stand in its way. And if it isn't, give me the peace to release it without believing my worth was tied to whether I got a yes today. I don't want to walk into important moments today carrying all the pressure myself, as if everything depends on me getting every word right. I want to walk in remembering that you go before me into that room too, and that your favor doesn't depend on my performance being flawless. For anyone stepping into something today that could shift the direction of their life, an interview, a proposal, a decision, an opportunity they've waited a long time for, let them feel steadier walking in than they did waking up this morning, because they know they aren't walking in there alone. There's a kind of courage that doesn't remove fear, it simply moves forward despite it. Isaiah's promise, "I will strengthen you, I will help you," isn't a promise that fear disappears completely. It's a promise that strength is available in the middle of it. Courage was never the absence of fear. It was walking forward while fear was still present, trusting that God's help was present too. Strengthen me today, Lord, not to feel fearless, but to move forward even while some fear is still there. Help me take the step I've been avoiding, have the conversation I've been putting off, walk into the room I've been dreading, not because I suddenly feel brave, but because I trust you're holding me while I do it. Let courage today look like obedience instead of confidence. Let it look like doing the next right thing even while my hands are shaking, trusting that your strength is made complete exactly where mine runs out. As this day moves forward, let me remember that trust isn't something I have to manufacture through willpower. It's something I return to again and again, every time. Fear tries to take back the ground I've already surrendered to you this morning. Every relationship carries its own uncertainty, whether it's a friendship growing distant, a marriage under strain, or a connection you're still waiting to understand. You don't always get clarity in relationships on your own timeline, and waiting without answers can wear down a heart faster than almost anything else. Lord, there's a relationship I don't fully understand right now, and the waiting has been harder than I've admitted. I don't know what tomorrow holds for it, whether it grows or fades, whether it heals or ends, and I've been trying to control an outcome that was never fully mine to control. Give me peace in the waiting instead of anxiety about the ending. Whatever direction this relationship is meant to take, let me trust that you already know it, and that you are not absent from the parts I don't understand yet. If I need to let go of something today, give me the strength to do it without bitterness. If I need to hold on a little longer, give me the patience to do that without resentment. Either way, walk ahead of me into whatever this relationship becomes. Sometimes the hardest part of trusting God isn't the circumstances at all. It's the quiet distance you feel from Him, even while you're praying. You say the words, but they feel thinner than they used to. You believe He's real, but you're not sure you feel Him the way you once did. That kind of spiritual tiredness rarely gets spoken out loud because it feels like something you're supposed to have figured out by now. I don't want to pretend my faith has felt strong every single day, Lord, because it hasn't. There have been mornings this prayer has felt more like discipline than closeness, more like routine than relationship. I bring that honestly to you, instead of performing a confidence I don't fully feel today. Meet me in the distance instead of waiting for me to close it on my own. I can't manufacture closeness to you through effort alone. Draw near to me the way your word promises, even when my faith feels smaller than it used to, even when this prayer feels harder to pray than it once did. Renew something in me today that has grown tired of just going through the motions. Let this not be a routine I recite, but a relationship I actually return to, even if it takes time to feel the way it used to feel. For anyone who has been quietly wondering if their faith still means what it used to mean, let them know that distance isn't disqualification. You are not further from them than you've ever been. They are simply being invited to come closer again. There's also a kind of tiredness that isn't about today at all. It's the tiredness of carrying something from a season that's already over, a loss that reshaped your life, a failure you still measure yourself against, a version of your life you thought you'd have by now that never came. Starting a new day can feel heavier when you're still dragging the weight of a chapter you haven't fully closed. Lord, some of what I'm carrying into today isn't even about today. It's older than that. It's grief. I haven't finished processing a failure I still replay, a plan that fell apart that I secretly hoped would come back together. I don't want to keep starting every new day while still standing in an old one. Help me hold what I've lost with honesty instead of pretending it doesn't still ache sometimes. But don't let me stay so anchored to what was that I miss what you're doing right now. You are not limited by my past disappointments, and today isn't required to look like yesterday's failures just because they happened to me. Give me the strength to begin again, not by forgetting what happened, but by trusting that you are still writing something beyond it. If today is meant to be a small step toward a new chapter, help me take it, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if part of me is still grieving what came before. For anyone who feels like they're starting over again, whether by choice or because life forced their hand, let them sense today that starting over in you is never the same as starting over alone. As this day continues to unfold, and as evening eventually comes, let the trust I'm building this morning still be standing tonight. Let it not be a feeling that faded by afternoon, but a foundation that held through whatever the day actually brought, whether easier or harder than I expected. God, let me finish today the same way I'm beginning it, aware that you went before every hour of it, not because I controlled the outcome, but because I chose to trust the one who already saw it coming. When I lay down tonight, let me look back and see your presence in the parts that felt uncertain this morning, not because everything went perfectly, but because You never once left. When I woke up this morning, I felt like I needed to see the whole road before I could take the first step of it. I wanted certainty before courage, answers before obedience, the ending before I was willing to walk into the beginning. But that was never the invitation you gave me. The invitation was never to see everything. It was to trust the one who already does. So let me walk today differently than I walked into it. Let the uncertain places stop feeling like reasons to be afraid, and let them start feeling like places you've already claimed ahead of me. Let the decisions I haven't made yet feel less like weight I'm carrying alone and more like ground you're already standing on before I arrive. I don't need to see the whole road today. I only need to know who's already walking it. You are the Lord who goes before me. You will be with me. You will not leave me or forsake me. So I will not fear and I will not be dismayed, not because today holds no uncertainty, but because you hold today. In the name of Jesus Christ, Amen. If this prayer met you where you are this morning, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Faith Over Pain so we can keep praying together. Comment, "God goes before me" as your declaration for today, and share this with someone who needs to know they aren't walking into today alone.